This is Hockey Hiker 19 from West Sacramento, California, and you're listening to PodCacher.
Hey there, hello, and welcome to another PodCacher podcast.
We are glad you're here with us for show 891 for December 16th, 2024.
And no matter where you are in this world this December, hopefully you had a little time to do some geocaching with friends, family, or complete strangers.
And we are moving along through the busy month of December.
Oh, so busy.
It's crazy to even think how few days there are left until Christmas.
2024 is just about gone.
Yep. And it was another fun but busy weekend. Sean and I went to see a high school play, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
And
Narnia, right?
Yeah, Narnia. Mm-hmm. And his high school friend, who's a junior like him, played Peter. So if you know the story, that's one of the main roles.
so I wasn't able to go, but from what I understand, this was a little bit less than a professionally executed play.
Well,
right?
First of all, it's high school. And
it was the first night.
It's their drama class that's putting it on. And it was the very first night. And they had all kind of technical difficulties with the light board and stuff. But they did a good job. They pulled it off. I think by the fourth performance, it was a whole lot better, I hear.
Well, it's a drama. It's not even a theater. It's a drama club or class.
Yeah, they just did it at the high school. Mm-hmm.
And so, you learn from mistakes, and that's how you get better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My weekend was busy as well. I had another band rehearsal. Actually, it wasn't a rehearsal so much, but our singer dropped out. She lived quite far away and decided she wasn't going to continue. So now, and this is the band, but this one of two bands I play with. I'm playing with a Hawaiian band as well, but this band is the Cover Tunes rock, hard rock, heavy rock Cover Tunes band. And now we need to find a new singer.
So you were auditioning.
So the auditioning time is happening now, and it's all that. So it's a busy time of year, including with last minute Christmas shopping. Sandy's been going into some stores and having to fight.
We're almost, I know, like Costco, the big box store around here.
Yeah.
You take your life in your hands when you go in there.
But I think we're done with just about.
Just about done, yeah.
Because that's not bad, considering. But even with all that hecticness going on, we do have a great show planned for you today. We have a geocacher gift guide, good for Christmas or any other time of the year.
Also, some low-impact principles to follow while you're out there geocaching over the holidays.
Mm-hmm. An article with 6 techniques for finding stuff that you've lost.
Chat about the world of trolls and nearby geocaches.
And our traditional 12 Days of Christmas song, and much more.
All right. First up, PodCacher email.
PodCacher email.
First up in PodCacher email, we recently heard from one of the geocachers we featured from an FTF geocaching article.
And she wrote, "Merry Christmas. What a great surprise. Thank you for sharing. I never knew this was published. My hope was that if geocaching could lead me out my front door down the road to hiding adventures that changed my life with new perspective, then perhaps it could be true for someone else as well. Sounds like I was amongst so many others that paved the paths before me. Now, a little laugh for you. My children took me to an escape room, and I had just returned from a cache where the key was hidden between boards. Some of us were chained to the bench, others to the wall." This sounds like a very different escape room.
Yeah,
they were actually chained. But she goes on to say, "I found the key the moment the door closed. My then future son-in-law just looked at me and scratched his head. We were out in record time due to some years now geocaching."
Yeah.
You know, I always joke that in 100 or even 1,000 years, someone will stumble over a lost cache, find a travel bug, and spend a career attempting to decipher its code.
Yeah.
Thank you and Merry Christmas. And that came from Geocacher Lover, also known as Diane.
You know, I bet you that a lot of secret talents and superpowers geocachers don't even know they have. Like, I don't know, you learn tenacity, you learn looking for detail, things that don't match. There's a lot of things that you don't even
realize.
You don't even
until
realize
it comes into play somewhere.
Yeah, like an escape room.
Yeah.
All right.
Next up, we heard from new club member V. Hassler.
And he wrote and said, these dad jokes are useful for my work as one team uses them to break the ice on their meetings, and that team does function well together.
Nice.
I thought of this insight on a recent trip. I saw no outlet sign on a short road over to a cemetery. Is that not a dead end?
Because it goes to a cemetery?
Yeah.
Okay.
And finally, here's another dad joke that we spotted recently. Pre means before, and post means after. Using both at the same time would be preposterous. There you go. All right. And if you have a dad joke that you'd like to share, send them on in. As we go into the new year, maybe you'll hear yours here on PodCacher.
You know what? We are geocachers. We're supposed to be able to find stuff.
We can. We have, right? We're good.
We're good.
Pretty good.
But
Mostly.
have you ever lost something around your house and you just can't find it?
Oh, yeah.
Lots of times.
Mm-hmm.
We found an interesting article from NPR with 6 techniques that really work to find lost objects. It's not directly tied to geocaching, but who knows? Maybe you'll become a better finder overall.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the article starts like this. The author says, a few years ago, I lost my passport 2 days before a big international trip. Getting a new passport expedited would cost hundreds of dollars, and I wasn't sure it would even arrive in time. You can imagine how stressed I was. I ended up taking a day off of work to look for that passport. That's how serious I was about finding it. But my search felt totally haphazard. I felt like I didn't have the skills to look for it in a strategic way. That experience made me wonder, there has to be a more methodical way of doing this. To find out, I asked visual search researchers, a metal detecting enthusiast, and a detective about the science and art of finding lost objects.
Okay, so those are some pretty good authorities there, right?
I would say so.
So technique 1, identify what makes your missing object stand out in its environment. And actually, that does apply to geocaching.
Yeah, it does.
Right? Okay. It might be its size, color, texture, or shape. Then search based on that unique feature. Instead of looking at everything in a space, this approach helps you focus on your attention on only objects with that distinction. Robbins, a cognitive psychologist, used this tactic recently when she lost the back of a rose gold earring on a carpet of similar color. So she changed her visual strategy to narrow on anything shiny and reflective. As soon as I thought about it, almost instantly I saw it, she says. So that is true.
And with a geocache, you might know some things about it, like its size.
Yeah.
You may not know its color or shape. Sometimes you can pick up clues on those things by reading other people's logs.
Yeah.
And then that can help you narrow and focus your search.
For sure. Yeah.
Technique 2, think about likely scenarios of how and why your object might have gotten lost in the first place and where it might be. Okay, this is not directly geocaching.
No.
This is if you lose something.
Yeah.
He goes on to say that's how Demian Garcia, a metal detecting enthusiast based in Northern California, helps clients find their missing jewelry in challenging places like parks, beaches, and roads. Even before he turns on his metal detector, he starts off his search by asking his clients basic questions. Do you have any locations where you put it normally? Where have you lost it before? Then think through any specific situations that may have prompted you to lose your object in the first place. He goes through typical ways people lose rings, like did you throw anything away that day? Were you dealing with cold water? Did you put on lotion? Those questions can help you figure out a more targeted strategy of where to look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Technique number 3, recreate the movement of the object around your area you first remembered losing it. The behavior of how the object falls, lands, or moves as you act out the scene may provide clues as to where the object might be. Garcia used the tactic when clients lose a ring because they've thrown it out a window or across a room during an argument.
Interesting. Technique 4. Now, this totally applies to geocaching. Break out of your search routine by changing your perspective. Professional finders, like search and rescue responders, don't just look at the floor when they're searching for missing persons in the wilderness. They scan their environment in 360 degrees. That means looking down, looking up, looking left and right, crouching down to change your perspective, turning around to view things that weren't visible to you when you first approached them. That is very helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why having a very tall person
and a short person works out well.
Yeah, very true. Technique number 5, look in weird and unexpected areas. If you can't find your keys in places where you normally leave them, in your purse or in your pocket, the entryway at the table at the front door, force yourself to look in low probability areas. Now, I got to tell you, this is a common one for me because let's say I misplace, I don't know, my keys, right? Mm-hmm. Here's what happens more than I would like to admit. I have the keys or I don't know, my sunglasses or whatever, like a pocket knife, right? It's in my hand. Then I go do something. And in order to do that thing, I need to set down the thing that's in my hand, like, the pocket knife, right? So I don't know, let's say I'm in the garage and I need to open up the toolbox to grab a hammer. Well, I set down the pocket knife without thinking, get the hammer, do what I need to do, and then get out of the garage. Now I'm checking the whole house and I don't know where my pocket knife or keys are.
And you look in the normal places, but this wasn't normal.
No, yeah, not only was it not normal, but it's like I put it down because I needed to do something with my hands. I don't want to admit, but it has happened before where I found something in the refrigerator because I had it in my hand and then I needed to set it down to get something out of the refrigerator. And then I go about my business, get the milk or whatever.
I bet someone's nodding their head right now.
Yeah. Right? So check those unusual places like your garage, inside your car, or the refrigerator. Okay.
All right. Technique number 6, divide your space up into sections, then search each section thoroughly. And that can also help with geocaching.
We've done that. Yeah.
Grid search, as it's called, is one form of systematic search. It's sometimes used, of course, in search and rescue to find missing people, but it can also be a useful tool if you're looking for something in a messy room.
So true.
Where your missing object's distinctive features may be hard to spot. So just imagine breaking down the search environment into smaller units. It can even just be sections of a room or pieces of furniture, and then search those units in an order that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
And if you need to, use Post-it notes to mark where you've already looked.
So before we go into the geocaching side, this is something I do often, and Sandy knows it. Mm-hmm. If I can't find, like let's say I misplace my glasses, right? The first thing I do is I go into any likely place and I check surfaces. Because I probably didn't put my glasses in a drawer. And this is before I start looking in pockets and going into the glove compartment. This is just surfaces, right? Yeah. And I will check every room 360 surfaces. And then I'll do the downstairs. And then I'll go upstairs and I'm like, okay, it's not here. And eventually, sure enough, unless it is in a pocket or in a glove compartment, it'll turn up. Now, as far as geocaching, we've done this before. And I remember one time when we couldn't find something. Remember that time we were out on that dark hill and they were newbie hiders.
It turned out that they hadn't even hit it yet.
It wasn't even hidden. Mm-hmm. And we've told this story before, so I'm not going to go into detail. But our search strategy was, I think, something that if you guys haven't done already, this is a good thing to do. Here's what you do. You put and this was a bunch of bushes, so it wasn't like clear terrain to see, and it was easy, especially as it was getting dark. Which bush had we searched, right? So here's what you do. You put down your backpack at ground zero, and then you start doing exactly what they describe here. You break it up into grids, and we worked like circles outward from the backpack. And we were thorough with every bush, and we kept checking, with these concentric circles, and then we were like, it's not here. And then
we found out. But that's a good way to search.
Yeah, you put something stationary down and then work with concentric circles around that point zero.
And just make sure you don't put your backpack down on the geocache.
Yeah, that would be funny, right? Yeah.
And by the way, the author did find his passport. It was wedged between the wall of the bed and the side of the mattress. Mm. Now, he asked Daryl Ellis, a private investigator since 1996, what it takes to be a good detective. The answer? If I had to use one word, I would say tenacity. Mm-hmm. If you've lost something you really care about, keep going, don't give up. And that is something that definitely applies to geocaching.
Yep.
Now, do you have any tips to find lost things or lost geocaches? If so, write us at podcacher@gmail.com and we can share your tip here on PodCacher.
Hey, we hope you're enjoying the show and the geocaching content we bring you. You might not know this, but PodCacher is fully listener supported. And we want to send out a huge thank you to our club members who are the ones who provide the funds that allow us and encourage us to keep on podcasting each and every week. PodCacher is supported by passionate geocachers just like you. Simon, also known as Team Mojito from Denmark. Jerry, also known as Nice from North Dakota. Deborah, also known as DJ B Tex from Texas. John, also known as Jobber85 in Ireland. Kurt, also known as Kurt to Me from California. Now, these are everyday geocachers just like you, who've chosen to step up, encourage us, and support our work to craft and create the geocaching goodness we bring you. You can join them today and get all the club member perks, including a collectible club member path tag, and you'll get a new path tag each and every year while you're a member. Won't you please consider becoming a PodCacher Club member? Being a club member, you can take pride in knowing that you play a crucial role in bringing the geocaching world great content, and you have our most sincere thanks and appreciation. Next up, 4 low-impact principles to follow while geocaching from a prior post in the geocaching blog.
You know, as an experienced geocacher knows, there's a lot more to the game than just finding caches and posting logs for your find. There's also hiding and maintaining caches, engaging with your local geocaching community, and perhaps most importantly, taking care of the geocaching game board, aka Planet Earth. The following low-impact principles help outdoor enthusiasts lessen their impact on nature and preserves it for future enthusiasts to enjoy. So here are 4 principles to remember the next time you head out to make a find. Now, the first one is know before you go. An important first step to a low-impact geocache outing is planning in advance. Before you head out, make sure you've checked to see if your destination has particular rules or regulations for visiting geocachers. Also consider planning your outing around times when there won't be as many people at the location.
Yeah, that's true.
Number 2 is stay on the trail. It might be tempting to create your own off-trail route to get to the cache's coordinates, but the best path is the one that is already established. Stay on paths designated for walkers and hikers, and if you're on a hiking trail, have your group hike in single file so it doesn't, increase the geo trail or make it even wider.
Yeah. The sand people do that in Star Wars to hide their numbers.
To hide their numbers. I don't think that's the reason for this.
It's just a little trivia information in case you want to know.
Number 3, practice your ABCs. Always be CETOing. Cash in, trash out isn't just a type of event cache. It's a lifestyle. Channel the CETO spirit and properly dispose of any trash or litter that your outing generates or encounters while on your search for a geocache. And it's a good idea to always carry extra trash bags and maybe gloves.
Yeah. And by the way, as far as trash bags, we've used those disposable grocery bags. And there's a way I figured out how to tie those things into really small packages.
Yeah.
And I carry like 3 in my backpack. Doesn't take any space. But then at the moment I need them, and we have. I'm like, I've got bags. Hang on. So those little grocery bags can be very helpful for CETO.
For sure.
Yeah.
And number 4, leave what you find. As you search for geocaches, take the flora and fauna you pass as you found them. Leave the flora and fauna you pass as you found them, and make sure to replace cache containers without changing their hiding places. The only exception to this rule is when you find trackables or swag in a cache. Yeah. Trading swag and helping trackables continue on their journey is a practice you want to follow. So back on show 811, we mentioned the famous wooden trolls created by the artist Thomas Dambo.
Mm-hmm. Now, Thomas is based in Copenhagen, Denmark, and he makes sculptures and installations out of recycled materials. The trolls are not just in Denmark, they're all over the world, and they are huge. And apparently there are geocaches and adventure labs near many of them. Now, I was reminded of them when I saw a Facebook post by Scouter74, who's made a bookmark list to track the geocaches near all the trolls. And he was requesting input from geocaches if they knew of caches that should be on the list. Right now, the list has 35 geocaches, but I'm sure it's going to continue to grow. Currently, there are more than 100 Dambo trolls all over the world, including Denmark, China, France, South Korea, Australia, Chile, Ireland, and the USA. And you can go check out the links in the show notes and let us know if you found a geocache near one of these trolls and any adventures you had in the hunt. We'll put the links on our show notes so you can go check them out yourself.
To send a shout out to our friends over at PathTags. We are very excited about our latest annual PodCacher Club member collectible tag that is in production and coming soon. We have created lots of PathTags over the years for ourselves, for the WWFM events, and for our club members. We love that PathTags are cool, creative, unique, collectible, tradable, and very affordable geocaching items. You can head on over to pathtags.com to see some of the tens of thousands of path tags that have been created over the years and join the fun. And, by the way, for the rest of December, you can get $10 off any order. For some holiday cheer, they are giving you money back on any order for the rest of December. Place a starter kit, change request, or refill order at pathtags.com and you will get $10 off your order. Now, if you're going to say, I don't have any artwork and I can't get it done before the end of December, well, here is the answer straight from the PathTags website. If you do not have a design yet, you can still place an order. Just select the Order Without Uploading a Design button on the Upload tab. We will hold orders for around 45 days pending artwork.
Nice.
This allows you to take advantage of a special offering, even if you do not yet have a design ready. So get on over to pathtags.com to take advantage of the special offer and join in the PathTags fun.
You know, at the recent and last Going Caching event, Brian Ross, president of Geocaching HQ, made a poignant observation. He said, we live in a world where there are a lot of things that divide us, but because of this game and the power of community, although we're all different, in geocaching we can all get along, have fun, celebrate, and enjoy the outdoors together. Well, here's the whole audio. Go ahead, take a listen.
We talk a lot about what it means to be a community, and we live in a world where there are a lot of things that divide us. There's a lot of things that separate us, and we don't even have to talk about that. We got an election coming up in November that could be a little divisive. So we're all different. We have different backgrounds, but this game and these types of events show us who we really are when we come together. And I think that it's just so important to remember the power of community, because we're all different, but here we can all get along, we can have fun together, we can celebrate, we can enjoy the outdoors, and there are a few things that are more important than that. So just keep that in mind as we go forward from here.
Now, I don't know about you guys and where you are, but it seems that at this time of year, people can act in ways that are absolutely 180 degrees not in harmony with the holiday season. You know, the other day when I was driving to band rehearsal, I was driving through traffic, and the traffic, surprisingly at that time, wasn't too bad. Here in San Diego, it can be stop and go, but things were moving along. But the thing that was the problem was, man, I just noticed so many people were inconsiderate, rude, and unkind. I mean, they were cutting people off, zooming through traffic, or just, and it happened more than once. Like after the first one, you kind of ignore it, but it's almost like because somebody else cuts you off, or is rude to you, or breaks heart, or whatever, the next person gets affected by that, and it just feeds. And after a while, because honestly, there might have been like half a dozen, 6, 7, 8 incidents on the way to band rehearsal. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? This is awful.
People are in just such a huge hurry this time of year.
Yeah,
and
you
it
know,
leads into being inconsiderate.
Part of it was on surface streets, and maybe it was near places like Costco where it was so crowded. But part of it was on the freeway, and I was just, well, wow, God, you know, it's like when you come to a stop sign and people don't let you through, or you're trying to leave a parking lot. It's stuff like that, and it really bothers me. So, with that, I wanted to encourage you with a geocaching public service announcement. All right. So, as geocachers, I want to encourage you on a few things. And first off is to practice gratitude. Just take a moment or two to think about all the things that have to come together to allow you to play this game. Satellites, our phones, our GPS device, a computer, the internet, geocaching HQ, a car, gas for the car, shoes, clothing, free time, all sorts of gear, other cachers who hide caches, friends to go caching with, magazines, online stores, clubs, videos, great podcasts. Now, I could go on, and there are just so many things. And I think, well, I know I do. I can easily take it for granted. Things or situations that at one time were magical or treasured soon become the expected or mundane, easily taken for granted. And, you know, the other day we heard a phrase at our church, gratitude evaporates and grumbling metastasizes. Let that percolate and sink in for a little bit. So gratitude evaporates and grumbling metastasizes. Wow, ain't that the truth? So again, I encourage you to practice gratitude at this time of year or any time of the year. Just take a moment to appreciate what you have instead of focusing on what you don't. Most importantly, with people, take time to reach out to someone, a geocacher, a friend, or maybe someone in your family, and let them know that you appreciate them. Send them a card or an email or even an unexpected text with some encouraging words. It can brighten their day for days. Now, you could be the spark to set in motion a string of positive vibes, opposite those of the bad drivers that I mentioned earlier. Positive energy that inspires, encourages, and helps make the world just a little bit better. And lastly, be generous when you can. Many of us have been blessed way beyond just subsisting or getting by. And you know what? If you're listening to this podcast on a phone or computer, congratulations. You're probably one of them. So take a moment to find a way to be generous in some way. Studies have shown that you're likely to benefit from your generosity as well. We are geocachers. We can do it. Practice gratitude, be generous, stay positive, and help spread it in our community. Hey, speaking of a positive attitude of gratitude, one way you might do this is gift giving. So next up is our annual suggestions for gifts for the geocacher in your life. Or some of you might want to listen up to learn about a well-deserved self-gift that you get yourself. Or maybe these are hints that you can leave around the house for your loved ones who just don't know what to get you. So here are some ideas for you.
So the first category we just threw together was clothing and bags.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Sonny mentions all the time because he absolutely loves it is his Tilly hat.
Tilly hat.
It's his signature look.
If you haven't, just look it up. It's a Tilly hat, and they are keepers, but you got to get your right size. Love my Tilly hat.
You know, some things came to mind because it's cold, at least in our hemisphere this time of year. Some wool socks that would be great for hiking.
Yeah,
is something good to think about.
By the way, if you haven't, they very different from cotton socks. Wool actually makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference.
Uh-huh.
And then gloves. If you want to wear gloves, you can get those kind where you can actually touch your touch screen.
Yeah,
even with your gloves on.
Even with your gloves
which comes in really handy.
Yep.
Some kind of windbreaker jacket or even a vest to think about being warm when you're out hiking.
It's amazing how if you get a windbreaker or like a rain jacket, it really cuts down on that
the wind, right?
that cool. Yeah, and it makes a difference. So if you have a sweater on, throw a windbreaker or a rain jacket over, and it makes a difference. Yeah.
A bandana. Now that's a great little stocking stuffer, but
oh my gosh,
they come in so handy.
You can tie things up with them. You can make a little like a carry with it.
You can clean things up like like a wet or dirty geocache.
You can use it as a headband. Mm-hmm. There's just so many uses for a bandana, and they're relatively inexpensive. I wouldn't say disposable, but they're
but you just throw them in the laundry.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then some kind of backpack or even a sling bag or waist pack. Anything like that would be helpful to when you're going out geocaching.
In my opinion, you can't have too many.
That is Sonny's mantra. You cannot have too many bags. And I tell you, our house and garage are testament to that.
We got rid of a bunch.
We did. We did go through the pile.
Okay, I haven't touched this one in a long time. We can get rid of it.
Yeah.
But some of them are just, they attach yourself to, like, oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Next up is books and games. So geocaching book, we've mentioned many throughout the years, and we'll include links in the show notes for geocaching games, Cache Me If You Can, board games and card games, Cache Masters card game. So if somebody's into books or games, there's lots to choose from out there.
And then just a number of things related to tools of the trade.
Oh, yeah.
Sonny, you should do this category because these are like some of your favorite things.
All right. A Fisher Space Pen. Now, what's important is the Fisher Space Pen cartridge, but that can be inside many different, like there's the bullet pen, there's the one with the clicker. I mean, so there's different kinds of Fisher Space Pens, not just one.
Right.
But the important part is that cartridge. A flashlight or a headlamp. Now, I've already shared before what one of my favorite new flashlights for my keychain is, but a headlamp is if you haven't had one before, that's because your hands free.
Keeps your hands free. Yeah.
Geocaching containers from Amazon, like Tupperware, ammo can, bison tubes. So those always make good gifts. Mm-hmm. A multi-tool of some kind, and that is a big topic. But honestly, if you know a geocacher that doesn't have a multi-tool that they can throw in their backpack, that is certainly something you might want to think about. Bluetooth earbuds. And these are useful not only for just entertainment, right? But also if you're out on the trail, almost all of them, you can just talk on the phone too. So you don't have to pull your phone out of your pocket in order to talk. You can talk through your earbuds. Mm-hmm. All right, next up is a rugged phone case. Now, most people have cases, but if the geocacher in your life often drops things, then you might want to look at a rugged phone case, and there are some good ones out there that really do protect.
Yeah.
A walking stick, we've mentioned this several times on the show, and this is something that, if you get a nice wooden walking stick, that can be something that becomes very personal and treasured. Some people like to get those little that you hammer on. They're like little badges, from places you've been. Mm-hmm. If you're not into the wooden ones, an aluminum collapsible one, you can get them in either singular or pairs. I found those to be very useful because you can collapse them and store them away. Mm-hmm. Walking sticks are good not just for balance. We've found that out crossing over rivers.
Yes, very important.
But also for like poking into geocaching holes that you don't want to stick your hand in first.
That's right.
Yep. Okay.
And finally, some easy gifts. No shipping required.
Nope.
You can even get them at the very last minute.
Right now.
You can gift somebody a PodCacher Club membership.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a great idea.
Speaking of generosity from a previous segment here.
And we've done this a number of times where someone signs up, they pay for it, then they write us and say, hey, this is really for so-and-so. Can you change the email and everything to go to them? Yeah. And we can totally do that for you.
Yep. So if you want to gift somebody a PodCacher Club membership, or if you have been wanting a club membership for yourself.
Gift yourself.
Gift yourself. This is the time to do it.
A subscription to FTF Geocacher magazine.
That's a good one.
Would make a very good gift. Mm-hmm. Subscription to the Cache Advance Cache Crate.
Oh, yeah.
Is also an awesome gift that keeps on giving. Yep. A subscription to Project GC. Mm-hmm. Or also a premium membership to geocaching.com.
That's
you
a
can
good
also
one.
gift someone.
Yeah.
And we'll put direct links to all of these things in our show notes to make it easy for you.
PodCacher Games and Contests.
Here at PodCacher, we love to play games and contests that gives you guys opportunities to win groovalicious swag.
And one last reminder that we'll be wrapping up our postcard contest at the end of December. So you still have a very short time to get your postcard sent. In the new year, you can expect more fun contests and giveaways, so stay tuned.
All right.
Also, we wanted to let you know that we'll be taking a break for the next show, which would have been on Christmas Eve. We'll be spending time with friends and family and hope that you will too. Our next show will be the Map Show for club members only on December 30th.
All right, we're going to wrap up this show with our traditional 12 days of Christmas song. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. Here you go. Hey, PodCacher listeners.
Hey, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We're sitting here doing something a little unusual now.
Yeah, we're going to try to sing. We've
actually,
never done that before.
We haven't. Or at least we've done it before, but we haven't actually recorded it to be distributed.
No, this could be kind of scary.
And there may be a really good reason why we don't do that.
You have, honey. You've sung for them, but I haven't.
What do you mean I've sung? When have I sung? What are you talking about?
In your alter egos, you know?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't go starting rumors.
Okay, never mind.
So anyhow, we all know about the 12 days of caching, don't we?
12 days of Christmas, you mean?
Okay, so now we're starting a new thing, a tradition, 12 days of caching.
Oh, okay.
What would that really mean, though, honestly?
What are the 12 days, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, because if we did the 12 days, we'd have to
12
start...
days leading up to.
Leading up to. So that means we'd have to start on the 13th, right? Because 13th plus 12.
No, like the 14th.
The 14th.
Because the 25th counts.
Oh.
As the last day.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you start on 13th, you'd have nothing to give...
On Christmas.
On the last day. So we're
way late.
So this is not the 12 days of Christmas. This is the 12 days of caching. And actually, we got this idea from the forums, didn't we?
Well, this song that we're going to sing was actually created in the forums by the listeners.
And we altered it slightly.
Just slightly.
Okay. So we've got it on the iPod here. Well, not the song, but the background music.
The background music.
Here. And here we go. All right.
Okay.
Here's to not crashing and burning.
Yep.
Right, there you go.
You start, right?
That's me. On the first day of Christmas, PodCacher gave to me a gold coin.
That's it? On the second day of Christmas, PodCacher gave to me 2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin.
There should be something more there. You go.
On the third day of Christmas, my PodCacher gave to me 3 red herrings.
2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin.
Okay. On the 4th day of Christmas, PodCacher gave to me 4 beeping palms.
3 red herrings.
2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin without an LPC.
Oh, that's good, honey.
5th day of Christmas, my PodCacher gave to me 5 golden yams.
Yams? What's with the yams?
It's something in the forums.
2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin without an LPC.
On the 6th day of Christmas, PodCacher gave to me 6 battery packs.
5 golden yams.
4 beeping palms.
3 red herrings.
2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin without an LPC.
7.
On the 7th day of PodCacher gave to me 7-point multicache.
6 battery packs.
5 golden yams.
4 beeping palms.
3 red herrings.
2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin without an LPC.
On the 8th day of Christmas, PodCacher gave to me 8 muggles muggling.
Muggling.
6 battery packs.
What's
You're missing
muggling?
your lines.
5 golden yams.
4 beeping palms.
3 red herrings.
2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin without an LPC.
That's what muggles do, they muggle.
What so they just stand around and that's considered muggling?
9.
What?
8 muggles muggling. 6 battery packs.
5 golden yams.
Beeping palms.
3 red herrings.
2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin without an LPC. Is it me or you
Okay,
now?
10. On the 10th
It's you.
day of Christmas, PodCacher gave to me 10 twirlies twirling. 8
It's
muggles
8.
muggling.
7.
6 battery packs.
5 golden yams. I've got the yam
4
part
beeping
down.
palms.
3 red herrings.
2 travel bugs.
And a gold coin without an
Okay,
LPC.
we better get it. This is
it
11.
me? On the 11th day of Christmas, PodCacher gave to me 11 trekking poles,
10 tillies twirling.
9 puzzles puzzling,
8 muggles muggling.
7-point multicash,
6 battery packs.
5 golden yams,
4 beeping palms.
3 red herrings,
2 travel bugs.
and a gold coin without an LPC.
Okay, big finish. On the 12th day of Christmas, PodCacher gave to me 12 shows downloading.
11 trekking poles,
10 tillies twirling.
9 puzzling puzzles,
8 muggles muggling.
7-point multicash,
6 battery packs.
5 golden yams,
4 beeping palms.
3 red herrings,
2 travel bugs.
and a gold coin without an LPC.
And a gold coin without an LPC.
LPC. Big finish.
Big finish.
Okay, there we
Hey,
go.
That wasn't too bad.
That wasn't too great either. That is not going to make the top 10 there.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.